We do have an update on breaking news tonight. Former President Trump was indicted. This is a formal criminal charge. It's about the alleged hush money he gave to Stormy Daniels during his 2016 presidential campaign. Well, Mark, Governor J.B. Pritzker had a lot to say today. Overall, he says he's optimistic about the future. All right, you know those federal student loan payments? You might have to start paying them again soon. We have breaking news tonight. The Cairo Bridge US 6062 is closed. This is the one just south of Cairo that crosses the Mississippi. We don't know how long it'll be closed. Crews say it's indefinitely. And we have video tonight from New Jersey of a semi barreling through several cars. It happened on a major highway. A cruiser is facing backwards. See if you can make it out here. Police are flashing their lights, but then watch. Oof. That's the semi that barrels through those cars. All right, free trials can be fun, right? Especially if you want to try something out that you're not sure about. But your money matters, and sometimes you're not told about everything you're signing up for. SEMO turned 150. This was the scene just a few hours ago. They had a party with hundreds of students there. Now might be a good time to fill up on gas if you need it. Right now, the national average is $3.44, and it's actually been holding steady this last week. It has gone up a couple of cents since last February, and good news, in Kentucky and Missouri, you can sometimes find it for cheaper than $3. You'll probably pay about the average, though, in southern Illinois. Good evening, I'm Julie Williams, and we start with breaking news tonight. A letter from Waltonville Public Schools says a former staff member is accused of sending inappropriate messages to students. We've seen the letter from the superintendent. Again, it says the staff member is a former worker there. They do not work there anymore, but may have messaged students while they did. Well, Mark, Governor J.B. Pritzker had a lot to say today. Overall, he says he's optimistic about the future, and he also says he's extremely proud of what's been accomplished in the last few years. He says the biggest accomplishment is paying back billions of dollars in state debt. So where does he think we should go from here? He says he wants to focus on jobs and the economy. Not only does that mean the creation of jobs, but training for them too. Investments in recruitment programs and trade schools. Governor Pritzker says people also need help paying their bills. So his proposed budget includes $50 million for that. It gives temporary assistance to cover things like transportation, electricity, and food. His budget also includes healthcare investments. He says he wants to train more reproductive healthcare workers and also wants to invest more in healthcare infrastructure overall. Governor Pritzker says if COVID-19 taught us anything, it's to prepare early and to prepare quickly. And there are even more investments in education. We'll go over some of those. Governor Pritzker says we need to focus on Illinois' future leaders. He wants to increase funds in the MAP program as well as money for universities and colleges. But he also wants to make sure even our youngest Illinoisans are getting to school. He wants to do that through a 4-year program called Smart Start Illinois. He says the idea is for universal preschool for every kid in Illinois. Now that means more money for classrooms, more money for daycares for working parents, and money to help pay for competitive wages in the field. Governor Pritzker says investments in early childhood will help families and future economic growth.
Thanks to our stronger fiscal standing, we can afford to do this. And as every provider, teacher, and parent in this state knows, we can't afford to wait. The research is clear. Smart Start Illinois will save taxpayers $7 for every $1 invested and will vault Illinois to national leadership in early childhood development. Enhancing quality early care and education is a win-win solution for remobilizing parents in the workforce, enhancing brain development and kindergarten readiness, saving taxpayers money, and increasing economic activity now and in the decades ahead.
Governor Pritzker's address was pretty well received, especially by our educational leaders. Keep in mind, both chambers are controlled by a Democrat majority. Republican lawmakers did have a few sticking points, including Senator Terry Bryant. She says Governor Pritzker started out on some positive notes during his budget address. If you only heard the beginning, you'd think Illinois is in a great position. She goes on to say, quote, he wants to spend $3 billion in new permanent spending. We need to refrain from spending on every item here and prioritize while our finances are still in a good position. We also talked with leaders on early childhood development here in our region. News 3's Paul Wilcoxon will have more on what they say tonight on News 3 at 6. Now, we know there's a lot to Governor Pritzker's budget proposal today. You can see his full speech on our website, WSILTV.com. That way, too, you can see a breakdown on each individual investment. You can also see that right on your phone right now if you download our free News 3 mobile app. We do want to pass along, Mike in the newsroom just let us know this. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says a large pothole is actually backing up traffic on southbound I-57 just a little bit south of Benton. So we're watching for reports on that, but heads up in case you or your loved ones are heading home. And I think one way we've all felt inflation are egg prices, and they are still going up. Get this, they've already gone up more than 70% in the past year. Larry Beckman of Metropolis says this Valentine's Day is the perfect time to buy your loved ones something they might not get themselves. So instead of jewelry or chocolate, why not get them a carton of eggs, right? All right, we know the big thing on a lot of your minds tonight is the weather. Maybe you're headed home or you have loved ones who are headed home. This is what it looks like right now in Metropolis. If you're heading out, looking pretty calm still out there. You can see those gray overcast skies though, and it kind of just feels misty when you look at that. And we'll also look at the Emerson Bridge in Cape Girardeau. Looking a little bit rainier over there. You can actually see the raindrops on the camera lens. It looks, though, if you can see the cars on the bridge, like traffic is still moving smoothly. Storm Track 3 meteorologist JC Brian is standing by. JC, looks like some of us have the rain right now.